Hey everybody, good morning. This is Rob Muffett. Guys, today I want to talk about organizing a very small workshop space. I've been thinking a lot about organizing my balcony workspace. Now, I found there's a few videos and a few articles I found on the subject on organizing small workshop spaces. However, the few videos and articles I found, they all they did is made me envious. And they showed me storage racks and pegboards and French cleats and folding cabinets and tool towers and overhead storage racks and combination power tool benches and workbenches and so on and so on. But when viewing them, I thought they were for the solution to my problem. But eventually I realized that lining up my tools like works of art or building new structures really wasn't going to solve a problem. I finally realized what my problem is basically I can't find stuff. I can't find my tools when I need. I can't find the stuff I'm looking for. My space shop, my workshop, it doesn't really lack structures or things that hold other items. The heart of my workspace problem is this: my shop space lacks organization, and very few people are talking about workshop organization. Now, what helped me the most, really, in coming up with the solution to this problem was thinking about my problem from the perspective of a library. Libraries contain thousands of books. You can always find what books you want at the library easily using a system. Although libraries do have wonderful bookshelves, they also have the Dewey Decimal System for nonfiction and the alphabet for fiction. So it really can't be simpler. Nobody pays attention to the shelves in the library or the structures that hold or stores the books. We just use the systems in the library and the catalog to find what we need. I wanted a similar organizational system for my workshop, for my balcony workshop. Now, I had begun to use the labeled bins and boxes before on my workshop to some success, but because they're so big, I ended up just putting a whole bunch of different stuff that was in the same category in the box and bins. So it was better than nothing, but it was inefficient. So my plan now is to make small square containers and label them by categories of tools and materials, but I made a list of 31 different categories. Now, this is the key: dividing everything I use, all my tools and items that I use and supplies, into many different small specific categories is going to be the heart of my system. Now, not everything's going to fit in a small container, but most stuff will, and having them categorized is going to help me quickly find them. Now, since this is an experiment, what I decided to do is temporarily use milk cartons as they're free, and their 4-inch square size is perfect. They fit 3 deep on a shelf. They're very efficient. It's been easy to fix a wood label to the containers too by just poking a couple holes and use hot glue, so they go in the holes to make like little rivets. So it really sticks the labels onto the carton really well. The waxy cartons, now they're waterproof. Now they'll last long enough to see if I like this idea. The cartons use all the available space, shelf space, with almost no wasted space. Now, I did paint some of the cartons so far, but it's a mistake. I used unprimed paint, and that's eventually going to come off the wax carton. I probably should have left them bare with no paint at all. I'm going to be adding new cartons and new categories to my workspace every week. And once I see if I like this system, I'm going to use or build some wooden containers to replace the milk cartons. And to always know where the tool should be returned to, I'm eventually going to number the containers and then make corresponding ID numbers on the tools. So I think having a place for everything and everything in its place is probably the number one concept of organizing a small workspace. Now, after reviewing a lot of other workshops, I come up with 5 different other ideas for a small workshop to make it even more efficient that I'm going to be using too in the future. Number 1 of these 5 is put big items on wheels. By using wheels, I can remove items to another area and open up the floor space. I found that if I store items behind shelves or tables that are not on wheels, that these items they might as well be at the North Pole, because it's going to be a pain to get at, and I'm never going to use them, and they're going to be forgotten all about, sitting there behind stuff that I can't get to. Number 2, use dust control. I found power tools that don't have dust control don't get used. Not a lot. In small spaces anyway. And so a lot of projects don't get built. So dust control is going to be a big priority in my workspace in the future. Number 3 is using vertical space. My shop uses floor space very poorly. I forget the space extends all the way to the ceiling, and I should take a lot more advantage of it. Number 4, I need to pick projects and tools to fit my space and environment. I have some tools I'm never going to use because of my space and my environment. I'm using a balcony in an apartment in a building with many other tenants. My potential projects, they're kind of limited, not just by the space on my balcony, but the amount of noise and dust I make that I could make that could create a lot of problems with my neighbor. So I need to make sure my tools fit the projects I'm going to be limited to. This is sort of a big adjustment for me because I'm kind of used to having a lot of access to tools and space. Number 5, it's the hardest one out of them all, is to make more space by discarding, selling, storing, or donating unused items. This is the hardest thing. I find it's almost impossible to get rid of tools or items that belong to family members. And one tip that might help is to get rid of items that take up the most space that are used the very least. That way you get the most bang for the buck. So those are my tips I'm going to be using myself in my shop in the future. And like I said, I'm going to be working on my organizational system. Hope these tips help you guys with your workshop. And I'll be real happy to hear your tips and see videos of your shop. I want you to know I add videos new every week. I've got about 500 videos. In fact, this week I have exactly 500 videos. I ought to congratulate myself. So take some time and check out some of my other stuff on my videos, guys. Hope you like what you see here and like and subscribe. Come back, like I said, add new stuff every week. This is Rob Moffett, Rob's Homemade Life. Hope you like what you saw today and come back and watch more. Take care, everybody.